Hello everyone. Let us see the second part of the chapter. Da, da, ka, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Da, kola, she screamed back derisively. Now we have seen that this younger bird, this little bird, this seagull, was not able to fly. He had a fear of depth. He had a fear of height. He thought that if he jumps from the cliff, from this edge of the hill, his wings may not support him and he may fall down and he may die. But as he had not eaten food for much time, he saw that his mother is having a piece of fish. So as the mother came near him, he called his mother. He begged her to give him some food. But he kept calling plentifully, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. After that, what happened? He kept calling his mother. And after a minute, he shouted at her very loudly, joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. His mother was having a piece of fish in her beak. She was flying near him. You can see the image. Mother has got a piece of fish in her beak. She came near this young seagull to feed him the food. But he leaned out, eagerly tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. As mother came nearer and nearer, the young seagull also went near her mother, tapping the rock with his feet. He was tapping on the rock on which he was standing and he was going near to his mother. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. After some time, the mother came just opposite to him. She halted, means she stopped in between. Her wings became motionless and the piece of fish was in her beak. It was about to reach to this young bird. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. The bird waited for his mother. He waited for his mother in surprise. He was wondering, he was thinking as to why his mother is not going near him and giving him the food. As he became mad because of hunger, he jumped towards his mother. He dived at the fish. He was standing at the corner of the cliff. He just jumped. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into the space. The moment he jumped from the cliff, he jumped outward and he started going downwards, down the hill. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. And suddenly he became terrified. He was scared. His heart stopped pumping. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. He was not able to hear anything. He was just falling down from the hill. And then it was like he could not hear anything. His heart stopped pumping. But this was just for a few minutes. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tip of his wings cutting through the air. After some time, he felt that his wings are able to fly. The wind is going through his breast. The wind was moving against his breast feathers from under his stomach against his wings. And he could feel that the tip of his wings are cutting through the air, means he is able to fly now. He was not falling headlong now. Now he is not falling down. He is now actually flying in the air. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was not falling down. He was flying now. He was able to fly. And he was no longer afraid. He is no longer afraid now. He just felt a bit dizzy. But little bit dizziness was there. He was not feeling comfortable. Dizzy means he was feeling like something is moving. He is moving. His head is moving. Dizzy, chakkar aana. So he was feeling that he is having dizziness. But again he flapped his wings once and he soared upward. He started flapping the wings and he started going upwards. Started making the sound. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. Her mother came near him. Her mother's wings also made a lot of noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. After mother came his father, and father also came near him. Father also started shouting happily. He saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. After some time, he saw his brothers and a sister came near him, flying around him. Curveting means leaping like a horse, means they are moving, jumping like a horse in the air. Banking, soaring, diving. They were going high, they were diving in the water, again they were coming out. Means the whole family became very happy when they saw that the young seagull is able to fly. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and he commended himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. After that, this young bird completely forgot that he was not able to fly anytime. He had not always been able to fly. This thought was removed from his mind by himself. And he started flying like you can see, he was diving in the water, he was soaring, he was curving, taking curves like a horse. Shrieking shrilly means he was shouting, making noise. And he became a good flyer. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. After some time, he was flying right over the sea. Below him was the sea, and on top he was flying straight over the sea. He saw vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. As he looked down, he could see the green sea, he could see the green colored water, green water of the sea under him with little ridges moving over it. Water currents were moving over it. So he turned his beak right side, left side, sideways, and he started making sound because he's feeling very happy that he is able to fly. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. Ahead of him were his family members, his parents, brothers, and sister. They landed on the green water. They were waiting for him on the green water of the sea. And they were calling him, they were shouting at him to come fast. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But for the first time, this young seagull had landed on the water, on the sea water. So he was not able to float. He started sinking. His legs started sinking in the water. And then, because of fear, he started screaming, he started shouting. He started making attempts to rise again, to come out of the water, flap his wings, come out of the water. But he became exhausted, he became tired. So he was sinking in the water. His legs already sank, now his body also was sinking inside the seawater. But he was tired and weak with hunger and he could not rise. We know the reality that he had not eaten food. So because of hunger, he had no energy in his body. His body became very weak with hunger. And because of this, there was no energy left in his body. He was completely exhausted. And so, exhausted by the strange exercise, as he was flapping his wings to come out of water, but he was not able to do. So he became exhausted, means he became tired. Exhaust means completely tired, no energy left in the body. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. Once his feet sank into the green, once his feet completely went inside the sea water, his belly, means his stomach, touched sea water. After that, he did not sink. So first, when his feet went inside, that time we thought he is sinking. Then when his half of the body, maybe his stomach, started going inside, belly, he thought he is sinking. So he started flapping his wings. But when the feet were completely sank in water, then his belly touched the water surface. And then he did not sink. He started floating on the water. So he had no idea that he cannot sink in water. His body is made in such a way that he floats. His body floats on the water, right? He had no idea about it. So once the feet sank in the water, when his belly touched on the surface of the seawater, he started floating on it. And around him, his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scrapes of dogfish. He had made his first flight. So when he saw around him, his family members were screaming. Screaming means they were shouting. They were praising him. Why? Because he had made his first flight. That is why the chapter is given the heading as his first flight, because he was able to complete his first flight of his life. So they gave him food, that is scrape of dogfish, means they gave him the pieces of fish. And so the chapter, his first flight, gets end here happily. Thank you.